Hi everyone, and welcome to week 4 of online learning. I'm going to go through everything that we are assigning for week 4 and then just some reminders as we continue forward. So Mrs. Urban and I are asking that you complete our student check-ins, which are always in the correct week folder. We ask that you do that once a week just so we know that you're able to log in and that you're not having any issues. The week 4 overview I'm going to go through with you now. For this week, all of the assignments will be open to you on Monday, April 20th, and they will close or they are due a week from that Monday, which is the 27th at noon. If you are having any difficulties submitting assignments or you're having any technical issues, please email Mrs. Urban and I as soon as those arise so that we can help you or direct you to where you can find answers to any of those questions. So I know some of you have had some issues uploading or accessing certain resources in the past weeks. We ask that you let us know so we can monitor that and also help you. Your main activity is going to be centered on the gathering place, which is a poem. You're going to access the gathering place through StudySync, which I will show you what that's going to look like in a minute. We're asking you to focus on completing a TPCAST chart for this poem. You have done TPCAST before. We worked on it extensively in Unit 1. So you can use all of those different items, those notes, the other charts that we've done as resources to help you if you have questions. You are going to read the gathering place on StudySync. There is an introductory video. Once you look at the introductory video, we would like you to go to the TPCAST chart. And we have this in Schoology. When you go down to task 2, you're going to see that we have a Google Doc created for you for TPCAST. When you open it, it's going to make you a copy and it's going to look like this. The reason why I'm saying after the introduction, before you read it, we want you to remember and go back and provide some ideas or predictions about the title. Remember with TPCAST, we start by looking at the title first before you read. So you want to make sure that you put your ideas in the box onto the right next to each step of TPCAST. So do the title box before you read. Once you have done that, then you will use StudySync to read the poem. And again, when we go into StudySync, you're going to see that you have the intro here. There is a vocabulary tab as well that's going to review some of the vocabulary words that you're going to see in the poem. And then it has the reading tab. If you prefer, and we recommend that this is a good resource, you can also watch or listen to the poets reading the poem, presenting it at a conference. So that is the video here, which obviously you have the audio option as well as you read. So you'll read the poem and then you'll follow through the steps in the TPCAST chart. So you're paraphrasing. What we have done for this, since you don't have a hard copy of this poem, is we put the poem on the left-hand side here for you, and you are going to paraphrase it line by line over on the right side. So you'll put your cursor where that line is, the first line, second line, third line, etc., and you will type out your paraphrasing for each line. Again, we're asking that you do this line by line, and it goes all the way down, broken up by stanza. We ask then that you follow through the rest of TPCAST, going back and looking for connotation, giving examples, and we have some guidance in red for you for each of these. For connotation, we want a minimum of 3 examples with textual support and explanation. Textual support means you need to go back and reference direct quotes from the poem. Make sure that you come up with some strong tone adjectives that we've talked about for attitude, again, with textual support and explanation of your ideas. Go back and look for the shift. We want you to provide the line that you think the shift occurs on and why. So please make sure that you're adding some support to your explanation there. Yes, this poem does have a shift. I know sometimes students will ask me and say that they don't think a shift exists. It does. I want you to then go back and revisit the title so you can go back and look at your predictions that you made originally before you had read. Now we want you to elaborate more on what you think the significance of the title is. And lastly, you come up with a strong theme statement. We were asking that you come up with 2 theme statements. Remember the criteria for a theme statement because we will be looking at what you're actually writing to assess whether we think you have a strong theme statement or not. Make sure that you also give a brief explanation for each of the theme statements that you create. And that is your TPCAST that you'll be creating in this Google Doc for submission. The last thing that we're asking you to do on Study Sync with this poem for week 4 is there is a short quiz at the end. There's 5 multiple choice questions that we're going to ask that you answer, and it will give you your score. We will be looking at your score also for your classwork grade for this assignment, so make sure that you're actually going through and you're trying to answer those questions to the best of your ability. A couple options for supplemental or optional activities. We have grammar as always as optional. So Unit 6, we would be on in our packet. That's pages 90 to 103. We do have answers posted for that as well, so you can complete those pages and check your answers on Schoology. We are also implementing short stories. If you didn't get to see them for week 3, we did throw them in, but we're actually officially introducing them for week 4. These, again, they're supplemental. We've been hearing that a lot of students are bored or have extra time on their hands. If you're one of those students and you do enjoy reading, we're going to be putting forward a list of 3 or 4 short stories a week with links to them. And I will show you where those are in Schoology, where you can read them. And then we will have an optional discussion post where you, if you've read it, you can converse with other students in the class. We're also implementing optional creative writing prompts. We have one for each day of the week. Again, these are up to you if you'd like to participate in those. You would be responding to them in your writer's notebook. If you prefer to have an electronic medium for your responses, that's fine. This is really just for you to give you something if you're finding yourself with extra time or you want to enhance your writing or your learning. These are some options for you. Remember that Mrs. Erdman has her Zoom class meetings every week. For my class, I have the discussion board that's open to you on Schoology so that you can ask any questions that you may have for that week. We also have additional grammar videos and resources that go along with Unit 6 on misplaced and dangling modifiers and also parallelism, which are grammatical concepts that are also very helpful if you are trying to advance your writing. You can take a look at those as supplemental material as well. Back into Schoology, you'll see that the assignments are outlined for you. You have your check-in, we have our overview. I go over what you need to do for Study Sync in the gathering place. This is where you're going to find the TPCAST chart. We're also posting the optional writing prompts so you can access them here. Supplemental grammar is going to have the answer key as well as some videos that go along with it, and the supplemental resources that we have in the overview. Grammar key is going to be a PDF at the bottom. And then lastly, for the short stories, if you click on the discussion post here, you're going to see that we have the 3 short stories linked for week 4. If you click on them, it will take you to a PDF where you can actually read those. And if you would like to participate in the discussion, you absolutely may. Again, this is up to you. Not required, but these are some additional activities that we're providing if you would like to partake in them. As always, I have the discussion at the end here too. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask here. And if you have specific questions and you'd want them to be asked more privately, you can always email me. I know Mrs. Erdman prefers that you ask in her Zoom, her weekly Zoom sessions. So make sure that you're asking your questions to your teachers if you're struggling. All right. If you have any questions, again, you can ask us, but we hope that you are doing well, staying safe, staying busy, and that we have a great week and a great couple of weeks. So take care, everyone.